Felicity asks, we have a house in Tasmania that we have been trying to sell for the past 2 years or 2.5 years. We have been unsuccessful up to this date. Should we reduce the price considerably so as not to pay much in capital gains tax as we would if we keep it, or should we hold on to this as an investment property? At the moment, we are only getting around 3,300 or total of 6,600 from both my husband and I, and as a tax deduction. Is this all that is usually claimed? We can max out our mortgage on our house in Tassie and reduce, or can we max out our mortgage on a house in Tassie and reduce our mortgage in Queensland to get more of a tax offset? There's too much in that to give you an answer over here, but in terms of deductions that you can claim for for an investment property, there's a schedule, a depreciation schedule that needs to be worked out from. I think an accountant needs to do that, and whether that's the right amount, really need to speak to your accountant about. Whether you maintain the property or sell the property, you really got to look at your longer term goals. There is one strategy that may be actually applicable here. There's a strategy where if you had a home that you lived in, and it sounds like this was the case, that you potentially lived in a home in Tassie that you had a mortgage on, and then you've gone and moved to Queensland where you own another home. There is a strategy that may or may not be applicable now, but when you moved out of when someone moves out of their current home and want to change it into an investment property, you can actually, if you own it jointly, you can sell or transfer ownership from one spouse to the other spouse. So you effectively, one spouse is paying out the other spouse 50% of the property. And the idea of this is that you're able to then get more debt associated with the investment property because you're using the borrowed money to pay for the other half of the old home, which is given to one spouse, the other spouse, which means that there's more debt associated with the now investment property, and you can use the cash paid to the other spouse to put towards your home mortgage. And the idea is that you're getting more debt associated with the investment property, which was previously the home, and less debt associated with the home, which is that you're now living in, which is not tax deductible. I wrote an article on this called Home to Investment Property, or Home to Investment. You can either search on that on my Cornerstone Wealth website, or it might actually be on my mastermymoney.com.au website. So if you can't find it there, shoot through an email and I can help you out with that. It just talks through how that strategy works, because if you've already moved out, or the other thing that works really well is that I'm not sure about all states, but I think a couple of the states you're able to transfer the ownership of the property between spouses whilst it's still your primary place of residence, for what they call love and affection, so without actually paying any stamp duty. So it can be an effective strategy to keep as much debt as possible on the investment property, so it's tax deductible, rather than and having less debt on the non-deductible debt that's on your home. I hope that helps. Not sure about whether you hold out selling it or not. Depends on your longer term strategies there.